Chris Guthrie here with netbookreviews.com, and today I have the Sony Vaio W series netbook. I'm going to go ahead and put it through its paces and show you some more detailed specs. So let's go ahead and check it out. Closer look. Alright, so this is the Sony Vaio W series netbook. It's their latest version. It has the Intel Atom N450 1.66 GHz processor. As I've mentioned in other videos and in other news articles, this processor doesn't really improve the performance very much. It's more about the efficiencies added to the battery life. It adds about 20% to battery life. So if you're looking between a netbook that runs an Intel N270 or 280 processor and compared to the newer Intel N450, you're always going to want to factor in the additional battery life you get by buying the netbook with the newer Intel processor inside. With that said, the one thing that's nicer about this Sony netbook is the screen resolution. As you probably know, most 10-inch netbooks only offer 1024 by 600 resolution. This one actually offers 1366 by 768, so you get a lot more screen real estate to work with, and that's one of the things that I've seen some people that are naysayers, netbook naysayers I guess you could say, complain about netbooks is their smaller screen resolution. So with this Sony netbook, that's something they've answered by offering a high resolution screen. Personally, I love the direction that Sony's going with on this netbook, and I hope that more netbook companies take it into consideration, because I actually ran a poll about a month ago and asked readers if they would pay $50 more to get a higher resolution screen on their netbook. And of the 250 or so people that responded, the poll's only up for a few days, about 75% of the people said they would. So I'm hoping that we'll see more netbooks with high resolution screens in the future. In any case, the other thing that you want to see is that this netbook actually has 1 gig of RAM, just like most others, and this model also actually has the Verizon wireless mobile broadband card built in. So this one is very good for traveling. If you plan to be on the road a lot and you just want to have internet built into your netbook, then you're going to have that with this specific model. It also runs Windows 7 Starter, like most of the netbooks. And you can see here as well, there is also a Motion Eye Sony camera, so you can do video chatting as well. The keyboard, I spent some time typing a lot with this keyboard, and I'm still not quite sure if I like it more so than some of the other designs I've seen. The keys are a little bit smaller, but there's a lot larger space between them. So it's still something that I'm kind of getting used to. The Asus that I use has a little bit larger keys, but the spaces between them are smaller. I'm sure it's just more of a matter of just spending more time with the netbook, so I don't think it's something to really complain about. The other thing that you want to see is the touchpad is huge on this netbook. I did a hands-on video earlier, but it's nearly 3 inches wide, which is considerably larger than most netbooks offer. I also like the discrete touchpad buttons. Most manufacturers have kind of clued into the fact that consumers prefer 2 discrete buttons. I still see a few that do a single rocker, but I really like what Sony's done here with the touchpad and the touchpad buttons. On the front side, it's where you actually have the power button, and there's also an SD card slot as well as a memory stick slot, and then also a button where you can just turn off the wireless manually. So it's a hard drive or a hardware based switch that you can turn off. This is also the blue version. I like the color quite a bit. At first I thought it was black, but if you kind of turn it in different angles, you can kind of see the blues kind of shining through. It uses a 6-cell battery. You can see the bulge here on the bottom. A little bit larger than some of the other 6 cell batteries I've seen, at least the battery bulge, but that's not a big deal. I mean, you've also got 2 USB ports on the side here, as well as an Ethernet port and a locking mechanism. On the other side, we've got VGA headphones and a mic port. So actually, one thing to consider too is you only have 2 USB ports as opposed to some netbooks that offer 3. So on the back there's also access ports where you can upgrade the RAM if you'd like, probably even swap out the hard drive if you really want to, although I wouldn't recommend it since you're already running a 250 gigabyte hard drive in this model. So overall, I really like the netbook. I think the only thing that I don't like, and unfortunately this is kind of a big one, is the price. This model actually retails for $600. So with that said, I mean, I think it's one of the best netbooks I've seen, especially as a traveler's companion with built-in 3G. But again, $600, you know, that's nearly $200 more than most netbooks run. Fortunately, they do offer another netbook in the W series, and that netbook actually has the higher resolution 1366 by 768 screen. It just gets rid of the built-in broadband and then a few other features I'll mention in the review write-up. So anyways, I think this is a perfect netbook for a traveler that needs built-in 3G at all times. If you want to save some money and you really need that high resolution screen, then just buy a less expensive one. It runs for about $450.